report. Let me read a letter that I got from Brent Spiner. We had a tragedy at a Donald Trump rally. And this happened today on November the 4th in Ohio, at a Donald Trump rally in Ohio. Dear Scale, today I had both the honor and horror of attending a Donald Trump rally alongside Vladimir Putin, Zach Knight, Julian Assange of WikiLeaks, and FBI Director Comey. It was a day that did not go at all as we planned. The rest of the men on the marriage list had already flocked to the rally long before we arrived. We parked the Church of Gale outside the stadium, and I lifted my key fob to press the button to lock the doors. With a resounding double chirp, the church was locked and faded into cloaking mode so as to be securely invisible. The crowd was enormous. I led the way as we sifted through the aisles to find our seats. Vladimir walked behind me, warmly holding hands with Julian Assange. Director Comey slid in to hook arms with Vladimir on his opposite side, resting his head on the Russian president's masculine shoulder with affectionate camaraderie. Zach Knight, meanwhile, briefly stopped to purchase Donald Trump lingerie for Rule 13. The garment had Trump's new campaign slogan, "Grab America by the pussy again," printed on the front, which is apparently Rule 13's favorite new battle cry. "All right, sir, you grab her by the pussy," the vendor smiled, fist-bumping Zach Knight. "Oh, I will," Zach assured him, pinching the lingerie with a small smile as if imagining Rule 13's tiny vagina inside it. We all took our seats and settled in. Within minutes, Donald Trump entered the stage and greeted everyone with a straight-arm salute. The crowd roared. The evening already seemed to be going great up until we noticed 4 strange women walking up to the stage behind Donald Trump's podium. The first woman was a skinny blonde in a pink tutu. The second woman was a dark-haired brunette with a strangely prominent nose. The third woman was a frumpy elderly lady in a strange bulky pantsuit. The fourth woman was a very, very fat Latina wearing a tiara. It was hard to make out their faces at first, but when we realized what we were seeing, our hearts stopped. These women were none other than Angelina Ballerina, Huma Abedin, Hillary Clinton, and Alicia Machado, aka Miss Piggy. The men and I shot to our feet and began to shout. The whole stadium was in a state of emergency and needed to be evacuated immediately. The crowd was far too loud, and our warning cries were swallowed in the heat of the political euphoria. It was a real-life nightmare. Donald Trump finally turned around to look behind him, only to stiffen with shock at the sight of the 4 women. "Crooked Hillary, get your corrupt, crotchety, infirm ass and your disgusting friends out of my rally before I grab you by the pussy and throw you out of here," Trump yelled. Then after a brief pause, Trump turned to the crowd pursed his lips and began nodding his head. "And I will, people. I promise you that. Trust me, it's gonna be great." The crowd cheered. "Not so fast, Donald." Angelina tiptoed to the front of the group. The crowd let out a resounding "ooh" and grew quiet. Suddenly, Alicia Machado burst forward ahead of Angelina. "Chew can't just call a woman fat. Not in this county." Alicia declared shakily in an illegal Mexican accent, beginning to sob. "That's against a woman's race, and Chew deserve to be in jail." "Quiet, Miss Piggy," Angelina growled. "Can't you see I'm trying to make a man sexually aroused here?" "Real men get aroused by a real woman, and real woman has curves," Alicia insisted. "Don't you even care about the woman's race?" That means race. "How will the women's in this country ever going to be equal to the men if they don't stop making us cry like this? I was cried for the 3 days when I hear Donald say I was fat. I was literally scared for my life." Angelina rolled her eyes, reached into her tutu pocket, and pulled out a chocolate Twinkie, which she then flung off the stage with a limp wrist. Alicia Machado squealed suddenly with excitement and dropped to all fours, chasing off after the Twinkie while oinking like a hungry Mexican pig. Now where were we? Angelina smiled, flinging open her top to expose her breasts. Donald Trump immediately began taking his clothes off, his eyes frozen to Angelina. What are you doing to me? I can tell you this. It's gonna be huge, folks. It's time to get a taste of your own medicine, Donald, Hillary smiled evilly. What you said to Alicia Machado was literally rape. You really can't believe that, do you? Donald moaned, arousal overtaking him as he stared, hypnotized by Angelina's nudity. Hillary cackled. Ha ha! Hell no, Donald. But it's going to get me elected now. It's going to get me elected now, isn't it? You nasty woman. Donald slumped weakly to the stage, assuming the doggy-style position. Huma stood with her legs spread in front of Donald. Want to taste my wiener? Huma taunted. Fitted to her waist with a massive strap-on dildo in the shape of a full-size Anthony wiener, which she immediately shoved into Donald's mouth. Donald, deeply under Angelina's spell, moaned in content like a baby sucking on a bottle. Hillary got behind Donald and in one smooth motion ripped off her entire pantsuit at once. Her gaunt, naked body stood pale and ghastly under the bright stage lights, gray and loose like a fresh corpse in a cadaver lab. Rope after rope of catheter tubes spidered across her skin in a dense matrix, connecting a vast and sophisticated network of urinary and colostomy bags. Hillary slowly outstretched her spine as she curled her fists in triumph, her collection of bags sloshing and pulsing like a living hive. My advanced medical team will keep me alive indefinitely. Her voice echoed deeply throughout the stadium as the crowd watched in horrified awe. I'm invincible, Donald. It's time to admit it. Hillary laughed wickedly. Ha ha ha! Reaching down to stroke a giant blue strap-on embroidered with the slogan, I'm with her. I better juice up now. I'm going to be here for a long time. From the side of the stage, an African-American Secret Service agent approached, then pulled out a metallic syringe filled with diazepam and jammed it into her jugular vein. Hillary convulsed in ecstasy, as if having a strong orgasm or taking an amazing sip of cold chai tea. Ah, she sighed with a wide grin. Hillary then spit into her hands to lube up her strap-on dildo before grabbing Donald's waist and shoving it deep into his anus. Vladimir Putin shot from his seat, slamming his fist down. That is it! His arms trembling with nearly uncontrolled rage. American people have finally gone too far. My erect is so shriveled. My penis crawl inside me, possible never to return. Do you think this is ever to be justified? Vladimir gestured to the stage where Huma and Hillary continued coordinated thrusting into Trump as Angelina Ballerina held her top open, giggling. Alicia Machado sat on the floor beneath the stage, gargling down chocolate cupcakes while gasping for air beneath her fat neck rolls. The massive crowd of Trump supporters, delusional and under Angelina's brain control, assured each other that Donald Trump is actually winning while being raped from both sides. Some Trump supporters complained that the mainstream media had rigged the wiener and dildo. Vladimir continued shouting, woman who is drug-addled, carpet-munch, homicidal maniac becomes world leader elect? He gestured again. Fat woman who should be as cattle, treated as human, think they should have right to be citizen? He gestured again. Reality TV man with multiple bankrupt only leftover option for president? He dropped his arm, clenching his fist. Russia will not tolerate American shit of the bull. Julian Assange gently put his hand on Vladimir's thigh in an attempt to calm him. Vlad, sweetie, calm down. Fat woman become accept, and you tell me calm down. Jennifer man cut off, own erect to become as woman, and you tell me calm down. Trigger warning and save space. No more. Vladimir, no, I gasped as I saw him bring his hand to his wristwatch. It is the only way to the end of insanity. Final trigger warning from Russia. Vladimir resolutely and firmly pressed the nuclear launch button on his wristwatch. My blood ran cold, and time seemed to slow down. Through my sudden rush of adrenaline, I let out the words, "We only have 4 minutes to evacuate. We need to get out of here now!" The men and I hurried our way to the exits. Julian, Comey, and I had to drag Vladimir by his shoulders to get him to stop ranting about the societal breakdown of the United States and to come with us. Through the dazed and hopeful crowd, we were all cheering loudly for Trump's victory. We managed to get back to the church just in time. No sooner had the countdown timer on Vladimir's wristwatch reached 0, the Church of Gale blasted off into the safety of outer space, a sequence of brilliant white flashes and billowing mushroom clouds fading into the distance beneath us. Yeah, right. So, Brent Spiner signed a Star Trek post saying that he wanted to vote for Hillary Clinton? Hillary Clinton? Who raped Donald Trump at a Trump rally right in front of Brent, and Brent wrote a letter about it. Something's not adding up here. Anyways, so as you can tell, that Brent Spiner clone has done quite an impersonation job. Though I no longer support Donald Trump, he was most definitely a better choice for president than sociopath Hillary Clinton. We learned that all those in attendance at the Trump rally had been nuked and died. We thought that they'd all died. We learned on January 6, 2017 that Angelina was able to beam them all out onto her spacecraft at the last minute and save them all while raping them regularly on her spaceship as her captives from November 4th to 16 to January 6, 2017. And as you can see, Hillary Clinton was disgusting at this rally. Brent would never vote for Hillary in 2016 because Hillary was a deadly Angelina ballerina Jesuit at the time. And before we defeated Angelina, I've got a page. I want you to go to the page I created at my website and check out the link and the videos there. Before we defeated Angelina, Angelina used a Laurie McBride clone to torment the real Brent Spiner, who Angelina captured and tormented. Learn what Laurie's really like. Watch the video. This was a blue-eyed version of Laurie who forced Brent to have sex with her that so nauseated him he vomited after the experience. This Laurie McBride clone died when Angelina's pink spacecraft crashed January 6, 2017. Unfortunately, another Laurie McBride clone has replaced Angelina as the evil Jesuit leader 2017 to now and currently heads up all evil Jesuits who side with her. This includes the Brent Spiner Jesuit clone who has impersonated and committed identity theft against the real Brent almost completely since 2016. Though I no longer support Trump, he was most definitely better than sociopath Hillary. Unfortunately, Trump's controlled by his evil wife, Melania, who I suspect works hand in hand with Laurie McBride. Current evil leader of the Jesuits like the Brent Spiner clone, who is Laurie McBride's Cuckosaurus Rex.